So are you live? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're live.
Are we going to go?
Yeah. First, we'd like to welcome everybody to the 10th anniversary of Pablove Across America, a ride that Jeff started 9 years ago with ride number 1. After our son Pablo passed away from a rare childhood cancer called Wilms tumor. So we have over 50 riders out on the road today with us, and we are going to dedicate our ride today to the memory of Pablo.
Thank you. As I said last night in our private closed-door dinner with all the riders, when I came up with this idea almost 10 years ago to ride across America on a bike in service of and in support of and in recognition of children with cancer, their families, their siblings, their parents, their communities. At that time, the idea was to do it as a show of strength when our son Pablo got through his treatment and went back to school when he started kindergarten. If you're just tuning into our story, I will tell you the news that Pablo never made it to kindergarten. Our story did not turn out the way we had wished. And so when I ended up starting this first Pablove Across America ride in St. Augustine, Florida, it was with our son Pablo having died. And still riding in support of kids who were going through this thing, kids who would be diagnosed that day and in the days after our first ride started. And riding for the memory of Pablo and so many thousands and tens of thousands of children who died at the hands of this disease called cancer. And 10 years in, we've had hundreds of people join this ride. At some point today, I believe we will cross the 10,000 mile mark of Pablove Across America ever. We've raised almost $7 million just with this ride over the years. And a couple of things haven't changed. One, Pablo is still laying at rest at Forest Lawn Cemetery behind the Hollywood sign in Los Angeles. The other thing is children are still being diagnosed every day with cancer. Children who have never smoked a cigarette, have never put themselves in harm's way, have never done anything that we think of in terms of how you could get this disease through your own actions. Somehow the universe has just brought them to this, and we have to ask ourselves why. And I think one of the reasons is to help all of us to tune into life in a different way and to say, like, no one's to blame. No one can get a finger pointed at them. Some things in life just are. And they cause all of us to stop in our tracks and wonder, why are we here? What are we doing? And I will say we are here and we are called upon to open our hearts and to look inside without blame. To say that we have to connect with each other. We have to stand with each other. We have to help each other along the way in this life. No congressional hearing, no forgotten memories of nonsense from 1983, no political party can help us. We're all in this together. The government is not going to help us. Pediatric cancer does not include with it a profit imperative for multinational drug corporations. We are here to support ourselves, to pay our own way, and to show up in this world while we are here. And with this ride, I show, as the founder of this thing and the co-founder of this foundation and of Pablo himself, as we like to say, that I'm making a choice to step into love and into life. And I believe everybody who's standing on both sides of this camera and out there in the world, we're all making a choice this morning. And I just want to rededicate ourselves to say, are you guys choosing love? Can you just make a little bit of noise? Yeah! Hold on. That's just not good enough. So I just want to ask you guys, are you choosing love and are you choosing life this morning? Yeah! So Pablo would be 15 years old if he were here today. And I just want us to hold him in our hearts. We talk a lot about him, and I don't want him to float away in all this talk. I want us to really understand there's a little boy here. It's not just a name. He's not some sort of a character. He was a real person. And this woman right here carried him in her womb. And this is her first ride of Pablove across America. I still can't believe that Joanne is wearing a cycling She's getting on a bike, but here she is.
It's happening.
I just want to say, because not all of you guys are living in our house all these years, this woman gave me so much shit about cycling, about the clothes, about being like a Rafa weenie. Can I go on?
Sure.
Yes.
We were here all week.
But yet here she is. Because I'm going to go through each cycling brand, one every morning. I'll get to Capo at some point. So Joanne represents the great hope of this ride, that anybody of any athletic ability who doesn't identify as an athlete, who wasn't a jock, who was being nominated for the Supreme Court, whatever, right? You can do this ride, okay? You can do this ride, and you can chug a lot of beer. Brian Bailey is proof of that.
What? Failed Supreme Court nominee.
Yeah, this is for Pablo, who actually would be probably leading the jokes here if they were here. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for putting your lives back at home and at work on hold for a week, and for all the training you've done and all the fundraising. If you're on the other side of this video, don't like this thing. Save your finger for the credit card input on the damn donation page, okay? We're gonna hear millions